I want to talk about something that people are getting wrong. There has been a recent uproar in specific European countries talking about the legalization of cannabis. This video is not going to be campaigning for this whatsoever, but actually reframe the whole argument for those that want to learn more about the topic and actually hold their politicians accountable. The first thing I want to start off with is the difference between hemp and marijuana. Hemp and marijuana are different types of cannabis plants. Hemp has less than 0.3 THC, and marijuana has between 5 and 35% THC. What is THC? It is the psychoactive substance that basically makes you high. Here's the first problem. Malta does not make a distinction between hemp and marijuana. So here's what Maltese viewers are missing out on when it comes to hemp. Hemp plants could be used for many things, namely clothing, protein, skincare products, so on and so forth. Most importantly for this video anyways, hemp flower also creates something called CBD, which is a cannabidiol which, you guessed it, has less than 0.2% THC and doesn't make you high. What I just said there is actually recognized by the European Court of Justice, who said that CBD does not appear to have any psychotropic effect or any harmful effect on human health. In fact, the data that we have so far actually demonstrates that CBD has a positive effect on human health. Can't believe I'm actually pulling out something from the Harvard Medical School. But this is what they say. In numerous studies, CBD was able to reduce the number of seizures, and in some cases, it was able to stop them altogether. CBD is commonly used to address anxiety, and for patients who suffer through the misery of insomnia, studies suggest that CBD may help with both falling asleep and staying asleep. It may offer an option for treating different types of chronic pain. A study from the European Journal of Pain showed that using an animal model, CBD applied on the skin could help lower pain and inflammation due to arthritis. Again, the study is all new, but till now very positive. So positive that many countries and companies have already jumped the gun and are launching their own CBD products left, right and centre. Unfortunately though, this is a bit of a grey area when it comes to Europe. Let's say you tend to suffer from headaches. Now I'm not saying chronic migraines, I do not want to get into that. All I'm saying is that you are that unlucky friend in the group that yes, suffers from bad headaches. Rather than constantly taking painkillers, which we all know your body will get used to over time, you could actually introduce CBD to your diet that will help in coping with said headaches, so that the moment that a really bad one comes along, you can again take those painkillers and they will help fight the headache a little bit better than usual. Now, if you want to get a hold of CBD oil legally in Malta, you're going to need a government-approved medical card, which basically consists of a doctor's prescription and an approval from the Superintendent of Public Health. So let's be real here. Are people actually going to go through all of that hassle to get CBD? No. So what I'm trying to say here is that Maltese athletes cannot use CBD creams to treat their swelling. Events cannot be sponsored by CBD companies. Entrepreneurs cannot start their own CBD business. And that unfortunate friend that suffers from headaches, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to use painkillers. Now let's take the attention away from Malta and I'm going to bring you to Ireland. It's a completely different story in Ireland where you can buy this over the counter at your local e-liquid vape shop with no questions asked. Literally, it's the same thing that applies to smoking and alcohol. If you're over 18 and you have identification, you can buy it. But, and unfortunately there's always a but, small businesses, namely CBD dispensaries that actually sell hemp flower that contains CBD rather than a heavily processed vape juice, are having to deal with their stores being raided and their stock being confiscated, even though it is constantly being cleared, and let me say it again, is not considered a narcotic drug under European level. So what this shows is that we need a harmonized market in Europe for CBD at least. It cannot be the case that there is such a product as CBD which is recognized as safe by the European Court of Justice, Yet these outdated and uneducated mindsets towards a natural plant, anyways, are prohibiting people from improving their lives and also making a living. If you were to ask me what you can do in this particular situation, my response to you would be to flag this with politicians that are representing you at a European level. Obviously, there isn't enough clarity about CBD. In fact, those that are fighting for the legalization of the recreational use of cannabis are also fighting for you to have easier access to CBD at minimum. So just as much as ginger, lemon or honey can help you with your sore throat, so can CBD. Catch my drift? Now unfortunately, and this is not a surprise to anyone, politicians tend to listen to us when it's voting season. And this should not be something that they offer to you when election comes around. This is something greater than that, and that is why the stereotype of A, the cannabis user, and B, a cannabis business has to be dropped. Before you go on a rant on social media about how someone got wrongfully convicted over smoking a plant, which right now unfortunately authorities can still do, you're better off asking why you can't give your pet a non-psychotropic medicine that will decrease the number of seizures they have. When you start asking those questions, when you start showing demand for this, then you will actually help NGOs and politicians out in representing a stronger argument to actually make a change. That's it. Easy as that. I think, anyway. Ciao.
Over here. Stop. What's that? Huh? What's this?